there are parallels. There's always been the battles for freedom, for liberty, for justice. There have always been the fascistic aggressors in this world and those fighting for liberty. Do you see parallels between what happened in the Falklands 40 years ago and what's going on in Ukraine now?
Tom, history repeats itself, sadly. It seems like we don't learn from what's gone before. 40 years ago, the Argentines invaded the Falkland Islands. It was an act of illegal aggression against the people there. And it's tragic, and we just heard what our friend from Ukraine was saying, how appalling to see these acts of violence against innocent people yet again in a different context. The point I'd like to make is that when freedom is threatened and when bullies need to be stood up to, I think it's Britain that's almost always there first with America and with our NATO allies. And 40 years ago, Mrs. Thatcher showed that Britain was not going to allow the Falkland Islands to be taken by conquest. She made sure that we sent a task force to recapture those islands, to give the British Falklanders the right to determine their own destiny. And we must learn from those lessons today with Ukraine. We simply have to stand up to bullying, and this is what it is. It's wickedness that's going on in Ukraine. We're hearing about the awful atrocities that are being discovered. I mean, it is just shocking in this day and age that these kind of things are taking place. And Britain must stand firm with our allies against it and learn from previous incidents. And today we remember the Falklands. And I hope that all British people will also remember it, because I think in many ways, it gave Britain a sense of purpose again. You know, we weren't in a good way before 1982. And the Falklands really gave us something to stand up for again. And I think we've had generally a successful 40 years ever since Mrs. Thatcher took that difficult decision to send the task force and recapture the islands.